What's up, my comic comrades? I hope everyone is doing well. First and foremost, even though the spoiler ban has lifted, I will say that today's episode will contain some spoilers for Avengers Endgame, as we'll be comparing events in the MCU to those in the comics. But quite frankly, if you haven't seen Endgame by now,
what the hell is wrong with you people?
Anyway, now that you've been warned, we're also excited to say that today's episode is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends mobile RPG game. Pretty nuts, right? That, my comic comrades, is the mobile game Raid Shadow Legends, which we introduced you to a few weeks ago. Well, Raid's special launch tournament is happening globally right now, and you can compete with me, Tim, and millions of other players in a massive arena tournament for a chance to win some crazy in-game and physical prizes. For those of you who missed it last time, Raid Shadow Legends is a new free-to-play mobile RPG game with a great fantasy storyline, impressive 3D graphics, giant boss fights, PvP battles, and literally hundreds of champions to collect and go to battle with, all together making this game shockingly immersive. And with the special launch tournament now underway, this is the best time to join the action. So use the link in the description below to download Raid now and get a bonus 50,000 silver and a free epic champion. You'll also automatically enter the launch tournament right away. But remember, you have to use our link or you won't get those extras. Once you're set up, make sure you join our clan, Variant Nation, because squad goals. Happy hunting, and we'll see you there. Alright, those of us who have seen Avengers Endgame know that at the very end of the movie, Old Man Cap gives his shield to Sam Wilson, aka Falcon, effectively passing on the mantle of Captain America. So today, we thought it'd be fun to talk about the comic book inspiration for that moment and how it all originally went down in Marvel's Captain America comics. Let's get into it. Before we can talk about Sam Wilson becoming Captain America, we have to first understand why he became Captain America. What happened to Steve Rogers in the comic version that caused him to pass on the mantle of Captain America? Well, it all started in issue 20 of the 2012 to 2014 Captain America series. At the beginning of the story arc, we see a former S.H.I.E.L.D. agent known as Iron Nail, or Ran Shen, fool another Captain America villain named Nuke into attacking a secret S.H.I.E.L.D. base that held a secret S.H.I.E.L.D. helicopter called Gungnir. As a fun side fact, that is also the name of Odin's spear. Anyway, Iron Nail would inevitably take control of Gungnir and essentially activate its ability to transform into a gigantic battling robot, which he then used to attack the country. Now, something like this would be a massive problem on any given day, but what made matters worse this time was that Captain America was basically the only hero left to stop this gigantic robot and Iron Nail. Even his right-hand man Falcon was grounded due to his wings being broken. But you know, that doesn't stop Cap. He went right at the beast and started trading blows with Iron Nail. However, he was losing the battle and the giant robot was running rampant in the city. Captain America then says to a wounded Maria Hill, "Maria, get up. How do I stop this thing?" She says, "Core reactor. Destroy the power source. It's the only way to stop it. Sub-level A1. So he runs out to destroy the core reactor saying, "If I manage to clean up this mess, we're gonna have a long talk." We then see him running to the A1 sub-level, where he encounters Iron Nail once again, who was of course trying to stop him from destroying Gungnir. Now, an important thing to mention here is that Iron Nail has the ability to drain the super soldier serum from Steve's body, meaning every time he faces off with him, Steve has to be extremely careful. But Cap is a true blue hero, and his main focus is ultimately never on himself. And in this moment, he's not gonna let anything stop him from destroying the core reactor. So Cap runs full speed towards the reactor to destroy it, but Iron Nail's tendrils stab Rogers in the back and begin to drain him of the super soldier serum. In a last-ditch effort, Captain America chucks his shield at the reactor, causing it to explode, and in turn, stopping Gungnir. But even though the giant robot was destroyed, the fight with Iron Nail wasn't over. Iron Nail proceeds to walk over to Captain America, and when he turns him over, we see that Rogers has been completely drained of the super soldier serum, and what is left is a dramatically aged Steve Rogers. It's a pretty crazy moment. But the villain still isn't satisfied, and he tells Rogers, "When your buddies get here, they're gonna find a corpse." Iron Nail then raises his blade in the air while saying, "You will never stand against me ever again." And just as he's about to deliver his final blow, Falcon comes flying in out of nowhere saying, "No, I will," and pretty much gives Iron Nail the people's elbow. Falcon then beats the crap out of Iron Nail and runs over to grab his buddy Steve and get them the heck out of there, leaving Iron Nail to die in an explosion. And the issue ends with Falcon, Maria Hill, and Fury tending to a withered old Captain America while flying away in a helicopter. Now, I said all that because it's the setup for Falcon to eventually take on the mantle of Captain America. So let's see exactly how that happens. The next issue, issue 22, starts our journey to Falcon Captain America. The issue begins with a tear in the 616 reality. Now, what's behind this door to another dimension, you ask? Well, the armies of Armin Zola, longtime villain of Captain America. Initially, Zola was using his army to distract the Avengers so he could go after Cap, but Red Skull later informed him that Steve Rogers is no longer a problem, because Iron Nail has put the good Captain on the ropes. While all this is going on, Tony Stark, Bruce Banner, and Thor are trying to figure out a cure for Rogers. Simultaneously, a mysterious man in gold armor breaks into Avengers Mansion, so Banner hulks out, and him, Thor, and Iron Man group together, and Iron Man says, "Avengers assemble." After a pretty epic battle with this mysterious dude, Steve still proves he's got some skills left even though he's an old man, as he's able to knock this mysterious guy on his butt, having his hand on his throat ready to knock him out with his cane. But at this point, the guy takes off his helmet and reveals himself to be Ian Rogers, Steve Rogers' son from another dimension. Crazy, I know. Anyway, we find out that Ian is on the side of the Avengers and reveals to them Zola's plans and how to stop him. This would lead to the Avengers to come into conflict with the Un-Avengers, whose motto is Un-Avengers, Unassemble. A little weird, but hey, what are you gonna do? While all this is going on, elsewhere, Falcon and Zola's daughter Jet are making their way to stop Zola. But when they get to the top of his tower, they instead find Sharon Carter, Rogers' love interest, who is being held captive. We also learn that she's the one who raised Ian Rogers in the other dimension, after Steve left thinking his son was dead. All of this eventually leads to a massive battle between the Avengers and Zola's armies, because the Avengers are trying to shut down Zola's breeding devices, which I realize sounds extremely dirty, but it's not. Eventually, though, the heroes realized that the mutates were just distractions to lead the heroes into one spot so that Zola could set off a giant bomb, destroying them all. Falcon then realizes they only have seconds remaining before the bomb goes off, so he grabs it and flies as high as he can into the sky. While this is happening, Steve back at headquarters says through their comms, "What are you doing?" Sam says, "You and Sharon deserve some peace, Steve. Promise me you'll find some. Take some time. You know, smell the flowers." Steve replies, "We all will, Sam, together. I promise. You get that bomb far enough and turn around." Sam replies, "Stop it. There's no time, Steve. Just do like I said. Don't you go on killing yourself. You served your time, soldier. Be with your son. Marry Sharon, because I promise. If you don't," and then boom, the bomb suddenly goes off. Then in the next and final issue of the series, issue 25, the Avengers and heroes watch on in horror as they watch their friend Falcon die. Iron Man catches his fallen body and places him on the ground. Steve eventually comes over to see his best friend, and in mourning says he grabbed the bomb, and it was just in him. Everything he did was for everybody else. And then on the next page, Sam says, "Yeah, I mean, that dude had it all. Good looks and charm, that certain je ne sais quoi that made the ladies love him. Yeah, that's right, Sam lived because comic books." In any case, we find out he used his vibranium wings made by Tony Stark to shield himself from the explosion to save his life. The comic then jumps to 1 week later, where we see that Steve had called a massive meeting of pretty much every hero in the Marvel Universe. Steve basically tells all of them, "I will no longer be acting as Captain America. I'll be serving as a mission operator, doing my best to keep you safe while you do what you do best." So this isn't a solemn occasion, but in fact, a happy one. He continues to say, "To make it all official, I've called you here to introduce my replacement, and a man whom I love with all my heart. Avengers, allow me to introduce your new Captain America." And then on the next page, we see Falcon in his new Captain America costume. And Sam, being the funny guy he is, says, "You guys all knew it was me, didn't you? There's literally no drama left in this reveal. Still a pretty sexy costume, right?" Spider-Man replies, "Could use some sequins. Nothing more patriotic than sequins." Then Steve says, "It does feel like it's missing something, Sam." Then he lifts up his shield, to which Sam says, "Whoa, yeah, that." Steve then hands it to his friend, officially making him the new Captain America. And the comic ends with Sam saying, "Let's give it a whirl. Avengers, assemble." And that, my friends, is how Sam Wilson became Captain America in the comics. As you can see, the only similarities it has to Endgame is Steve being old and giving the shield to Falcon. But I think that was enough to give a nice little nod to the comics. In any case, what do you guys think of Sam Wilson's time as Captain America? Did you like it, hate it, or love it? Let us know in the comment section down below. First up for Wednesday, May 15th, we have Green Lantern Earth 1 Volume 1. The newest Earth 1 original graphic novel is now available in trade paperback, with an all-new origin for the Emerald Warrior. If you love Elseworld stories, you need to check this out. Now we have Spider-Man and the League of Realms issue 1. This is a War of Realms tie-in. In order to win the War of the Realms, we need a League of Realms. Thor once led this team with a representative from each fantastical realm, but the League has a new leader and representative of Midgard, Spider-Man. Here we have Batman issue 71. The Fall and the Fallen continues. Will it be father and son working together, or tearing each other apart? When it comes to the Waynes, expect a little of both. And finally, we have the Immortal Hulk issue 17. Bruce Banner is trapped inside Shadow-based Site A. Powerless and hunted by their top assassin, he can't run forever. He can't change form, he can't survive without the Immortal Hulk. but not the one you think. But that's going to bring another episode of Rant to a close, but remember to click the link for Raid League of Shadows in the description to get a bonus 50,000 silver and a free epic champion. Other than that, be sure to follow us on our social media like our Facebook, our Twitter, and our Instagram. Links for that is also in the description below, and if you like our videos, be sure to subscribe. But I'll see you guys next time when I talk about all things comics.